What's up, adventurers, and welcome to another AFK Journey video. Today, we're going to be talking about, well, the Talk with Designers post that came out recently. For those of you who haven't seen it, I don't want to just read this off to you. I feel like a lot of people just read this off to you, and it's just like it's a lot of text, and it's like what matters and what's important. So let me, instead of just reading this off to you and then just posting it to a video, let's talk about what's important and what we need to focus on here. So I have gathered a few points that I think are really key to what we're going to be learning about today. First, starting off with, we're going to be receiving all heroes. So as this has gone in the past, through the all heroes available, whenever you log in, you get a new item, but really at a certain point, you stop getting heroes. Getting all of these heroes now and updating it to where every hero pre-August 8th release is going to be given to us, which also hints at a new character coming soon. But getting all the heroes now is going to be really important, but what I want to see more than anything is something like this, where they're going off of this list as far as the priority, because it's really important that you have sort of a priority list in your own mind. But I think what they need to do, especially for new players who haven't gone through this yet, I think they need to give them those single copies. I can't tell you how long I went without getting a Shaker copy despite him being on my list. So I think that how they organize this is going to be really important, because the way it's currently organized, I mean, with Valen and Seth and Art, I don't know if that's the move. So I really wish that they get this and they reorganize this. Get us our Rowan, our Brutus, our Qin. Give us those really essential characters first, and then I'll like this. Number 2, getting more than one Temporal Essence from Dream Realm. Absolute W. I'm so excited to see this, that people beyond the rank 100 are going to start getting some of those Temporal Essences. But can we add on top of this and actually get, like, what I want to see more than this is I want to see a flat rate for clearing 1, 2, epic, endless, I think is how it goes. But I want to see flat rates given, because ranking should not be the method for everybody. Now, it does say beyond 100, so I don't know if they're just going to extend the rankings, but please give us flat rates for certain amounts. But this raises the question, because the next one I have, it actually, these are all starting to line up with some of my videos. I wonder if AFK Journey's listening. Listen, if you're listening to my videos, give me some copies. Moving on. Swapping EX equipment between characters. And if you watch my recent video, I talked about exactly this feature, except for I talked about swapping between the same class. So if you have 2 mages, you can swap EX equipment. But I talked about it because my first character that I mistakenly got to a pretty high level was Cassidy. And for those of you who don't know, in between levels, like you don't want to level certain characters you don't want to do, but you definitely don't want to put them in the middle like this, where it's 13. You definitely want it to be at 5, 10, 15, because in between, not a lot's changing. And so what they're offering is the ability to swap EX equipment. And I think this is going to be good, pending how easy it is to acquire an item to reset these. If it's something that is a cost, kind of like giving us giving us more stellar crystals, for example, giving us more stellar crystals within the Emporium, but then going, you can't now get your S level heroes if you do it. That's wild. But as long as they make it something like, in my opinion, if you're looking on how to balance this AFK journey, in my opinion, the way you need to do this is once you unlock a Mythic plus character, give them that reset token. Give them 1 reset token per. And then every one you get after that, I think diamonds would be fine. Like, I mean, just something to where I think it needs to be accessible more than it needs to be inaccessible. Make it cheap enough to people so people can experiment, but not so much that they can do it every day. Maybe like once a week. I just think that would be better. So next one is seasonal content. So a lot of people are talking about seasonal content woes, and a lot of content creators have been talking about this. And I feel like a lot of people don't know how seasonal content is played because they haven't played games like Path of Exile. Maybe they haven't played games like Diablo. They don't necessarily understand that, but I kind of disagree with their move here. I don't think that not allowing the reset to 1, not requiring players to play through the story, or still having the delayed, I guess, release, the staggering release of the seasonal servers, I don't think this is the move. I think, just like a game like HSR, I think what you need to do is you need to weave the new season into the older content at given times, to where if someone wants to branch off into seasonal content, they can. What should change is the level of content that you're facing should, in general, match what you're doing in game. meaning I might not be able to clear the highest level of story content, like the end content, but I should be able to go into those different areas and complete those certain key quests as well as side quests, and that should match the current level of play that I'm playing at. Because honestly, that old content is not in a state to where it matters competitively. So what needs to happen is you need to allow players to explore the content as they see fit, and then get little nuggets of that new seasonal content in there. So I don't think the reset is the way to do this, but they are doing basically they're avoiding the reset entirely. They're trying to make it seamless, but I think seasonal content, because we're not truly getting a reset, they're not resetting your power level to 0. Because it's seamless, it makes it feel like you can access any content, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. I do think that there does need to be essentially seamless weaving of that new content, but not in the way that they're doing it, at least from my first impressions of this. Next is redefining it, like redesigning Arcane, Labyrinth, and Honor Duel. I've been talking about this in my videos as well. I swear they're watching my videos. Everyone, scatter. But I wanted to mention it because I recently saw this Reddit post, and I think this would be the way I want to see something like Honor Duel improved. Currently, Honor Duel it's fun, but it gets overwhelming because there are so many artifacts, pairings, and things like that. But there's no understanding giving. There's no like guide or tutorial. They don't show preferred items for certain heroes. And I think this is a missed opportunity, because having something like this one is for Wilders and Graveborn, I think has improved my Honor Duel play by so much, because it just has a basic infographic. So please, AFK Journey, improve these modes with this in mind is my main thing. So those are being improved. Those are being changed. Next thing is, I know people are gonna dog AFK Journey for this, but they're adding a fishing mode. Listen, guys, don't hate on Joy. All right, don't hate on Joy. If you played Stardew Valley is absolutely cracked for fishing games. So don't dog on fishing games. Now, if it makes it just basic and there's not really a reward system to it, or if there's not really a worthwhile reason to do anything to it, then fine, dog them for it. But if it's something that's fun and relaxing to do, that you can actually do something for unique items, then I don't mind it. I like fishing games. There's a whole fishing bonanza of indie games out there that are tons of fun. It's some of my favorite things in games, oddly enough, like when I play MMOs. Like fishing and cooking and WoW, insane to do together. All right, next one is social features. But guys, you and I both know when we're talking about social features, you open up this chat, it is Baron's chat in this world chat. It is absolutely insane. Half the people are going absolutely off the rails with these chats. What I need to see instead of where it's currently at is there needs to be topic-based items in here. There needs to be sections in here where we could talk about certain aspects of the game, sort of like a Reddit or subreddit. Because right now, exploring through these is miserable. That's the way I think it needs to be changed. Not necessarily guild functions and stuff like that. You know, I mean, I don't think anybody's going into voice chat to play this game. Unfortunately, I don't think the game's like strategy like that, but I think the chats need to be opened up in a bit more, in a bit more of that direction, to where you have section chats for certain topics as well. Next thing is allowing special abilities in isolated modes will be taking place of the seasonal abilities. So as many of you know, with the new season, every character has a seasonal ability that you can explore. So going into like Bloodlust Blade for Brutus, that's essentially going to be seemingly taken over by unique abilities for certain modes. Namely, Legend Trial is the one they mentioned. I think this will be great one to add in for people who don't have certain characters in Legend Trial who still want to clear stages. For example, before we had Ludovic, you know, using Niru for healing. Same thing with Lightborn, because Lightborn, the healer in Lightborn's not that great. Having those abilities there to where we can actually explore those a little bit deeper with characters either we don't use commonly, or maybe characters who aren't good outside of these modes, to where it's like, okay, I'm using this character for this mode. It extends upon what I talked about with Dura Trials. Once again, I swear they're listening to my videos, where I talked about Dura Trials, to where Dura Trials is great because it allows you to use characters you don't use previously, but it doesn't make them strong enough to where you don't need to ascend them. So that's what I'm hoping with Legend Trial. I'm hoping that this is something that transcends and ascending characters. As long as it's that, then I'm okay with that. And the last one that I have that I thought that was really important was them talking about, they talked about really like the rate up recruitment and their personal, like their motto with how the recruitment is the way the recruitment is. Listen, My personal issue isn't that rate up recruitment is focused on one character and it's just it's to give you a higher chance of getting that character. My issue is that requiring the amount of pulls it requires for only one character, and the only guarantee we get is an A-level hero for a 10 pull is kind of not where it needs to be. I think for the limited amount of recruitments we get in this, but we don't necessarily get, I think what it needs to be is it needs to be a few, like maybe like if you're doing one special character, you should do an S level character, an A level character as also guarantees for your pity rolls. Because right now in AFK Journey, the way I currently feel about it is that rate up recruitment, all hero recruitment, epic recruitment. I have never played a gacha that has so many times that I'm relying on 95% pity in order to pull the character or pull a character in some cases. Where I'm within 10 of pity, like 5 to 10 pity. Right now, currently the current state of it just feels like you're waiting too long, and then the payoff really isn't as great just because I could spend 40 here, but 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be better for me to get my pulls here because I'm gonna get much more characters comparatively. So that's the way I feel about it. Of course, if you want to look at this more in depth, check out their post on Twitter. I think they have posts on Reddit as well, and on Discord. But those are my top 10, or top 9 highlights of what I think is the most important updates that are coming and stuff that I think is ways to make it even better. So currently, I think it's in a great state. I just think that, a great state of growth. But I think right now, I think we need that little extra oomph more than ever. So that's it for me, guys. I'll end this with a 10 pull. Thank you so much for watching these videos. We're nearing 300 subs, and it means a lot that we've gotten here. I'm so excited to have been making videos for this, Zenless Zone Zero, HSR, and you guys have been super kind for the most part. So I can't thank you guys enough for being so awesome and hanging out with me for this long. Until the next one, may fortune favor your journey, and I'll catch you. Peace.